salad. It's like I was looking at the time. It's almost 7:30 and I haven't eaten. I want to do a salad. I went to my favorite produce place today. Don't mind the hair I got in the ring. It's been a day. I finally left the house though. Hold on. Gotta get utensils. I heat up my chicken too. And I'm using a big pan, but. And I did get all of my new equipment, but I'm not using it. I'm using my regular equipment. How was your day? It rained all day. I waited for the rain yesterday, and the rain never came. And look, I have one tomato out of my garden. One. Let's see if I get more. It's a little green, but I can use it. I'm going to heat up my chicken here. But how was your day? What did you do today? Did you read today? What did you have? You know, I feel like on my days off, if I do not come online, I feel like I'm missing out on something. And because there's not a lot of anything else going on in my world. And I am promoting all of my art classes, and I am promoting all the things that I do. And, you know, I've been sending resumes out like a silly woman, trying to find new work. Hello, whoever just popped on. I have all the comments turned off. But went to my favorite produce place today. Got some really good overripe nectarines. Blah, blah. I think I'm going to make a little bit of a jam with it. I have some cream cheese. I can do a little toast. I could add a little bit of the whiskey to it, but I don't know. I was going to make muffins with a cream cheese filling, and I didn't feel like doing any of that. So I thought, you know what, I hadn't eaten, so I needed to make a salad. That was what I was in the mood for. I'm going to use my favorite buffalo ranch dressing. I'm not kidding. This is the best ever. The best ever. I have a little bit of blue cheese left. I did have groceries delivered the other day. Went and got dog food today. Went and bought a cantaloupe. $22 at my produce place in Webster Groves. Love Rogers Produce. $22, although I did buy some more flowers to put in the front. Around my front tree, I had the kid dig out some lily of the valley because it's such a blank area, and I've got flowers all the way around everywhere else. I thought that would be real cute with the lily of the valley and some rose moss to go around there. I need more dirt. I'll work on that at another point in time. I have those elephant ears I still need to put in. I have sunflowers that I still need to plant. I was kind of holding off on the sunflowers because I want them to bloom later in the summer. I think my potatoes, I should have a harvest maybe 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know. I'm going to have a lot of potatoes though. My carrots out there, they have flowers on them already. And I think that's a sign that they're almost ready to harvest. I put them in pretty early. But anyway, so at the produce store today, I bought some little romaine lettuce, 50 cents. 50 cents. I bought some spinach leaf. This was $2 and something. I didn't care. I eat so much spinach. I feel like I need the iron. I bought cantaloupe, watermelon, some eggplant. I had a whole box full of stuff. Oh, some grapes, some seedless red grapes. I don't know, $22. It was okay. I had the $22. Then I had to go buy dog food. But I'm heating up some chicken. But anyway, what'd you do today? What'd you have for lunch? I had some leftover pizza from the kid. You know, he works at a pizza place. Did you see that in one of my lives the other day, if anybody's keeping track, I had 1,000 views on one of my videos that I did. Thank you. That means so much to me. Okay, I gotta wash this. I think you can still see and hear me. Oh, and what do we think about the dress? This is one of my favorites. One of my favorites. I wore the new yellow one yesterday, and then I didn't leave the house. I didn't feel like going anywhere yesterday. This was a dress from my person. He bought me a blue one, and he bought me a red one a few years back, and I still wear it, and I've got my tube top underneath it. It's just comfortable. And I gotta wash some stuff, so follow along. Just was in the mood for a salad. You know, I grilled the other day. Yeah, that looks like I've had it a while, but that's okay. I wanted to grill the other day, which I did, and I told you I didn't like the sausage, or the bratwurst that I had. And I was thinking about going over to Kendrick's, looking for some really good bones to make some bone broth, and then I can give my dogs some bones. They did not like the rain this morning at all. My yard is a muddy mess where the dogs are concerned. So I'm looking for a bowl. See, I got that new device that follows me around. But the thing is, when I go live, if I'm not like doing video, it won't work. But that's okay. Hang on, I gotta get a bowl. We can use this bowl. This looks like a nice bowl. I had to, and tell me if you're right there with me, buy more storage from Google for my photos and for my email. It's a racket. Everything is a subscription. It shouldn't be like that. Google is one of the most wealthiest entities on the planet. But yet, you know, they want to make you buy, you know, more space on everything. It's a little alarming. So I paid the phone today. That comes out of my, you know, my check. Upped my storage in Google. Turn that off. I don't want to burn the chicken. Paid the car insurance. Talked to the neighbor. They're having a new roof put on. And I'm like, well, send me the name of your guy because I'll have to call them to have them come and give me an estimate to tell me what's wrong with this roof because it is leaking. Trust me, I'm not complaining. It's just life. I don't know how you're managing with everything in your world right now. So tonight I sent a resume off for an event coordinating position for a mobile bar because I'm looking for part-time, I'm looking for flexible, and I'm looking for about $28, $30 an hour, which I think is the going rate. I think that's what my skill set deserves. If I'm teaching a painting class, I charge $48 a person. So, alright. Cut up my romaine lettuce. Let's just get to the core of this. I don't know, how do you cut your lettuce up? Can you see what I'm doing here? I'm sure the kid will bring home a pizza tonight. I got Francis underneath. See Francis? Hi, the bean! Get down. Get down, little girl. I made smashed tortillas last night. Oh my stars, was that good? So you make a big meatball of hamburger, and then you take a tortilla, you put the meatball in your pan. You take your tortilla and you flatten it down as much as you possibly can. Some chili lime seasoning, some onion powder, and butter in the pan. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And then I bought some queso cheese to go on top of it. It was delicious. Totally delicious. So anyway, I ate one of those last night, and then I made two for the kid. You know, he's been working out at the gym. So he works, he's been hanging out more with his friends, you know, which I'm glad. He's 25, he should. And what else am I doing? He doesn't want to hang out with his mother. Do you have kids? My one friend, she sent me a text. She's in San Diego on the beach. And she said, I figured you'd appreciate this. You're a beach babe. Yeah, well, rub it in. Rub it in, because I haven't been to the beach in a while. You know, I was talking yesterday about Artilla Cove, and I was looking at all their open dates. You know, you have to book 5 nights, and their prices went up to $145. So you do the math. 145 times 5. I don't know. Check my lottery ticket, not a winner. I'm gonna put some mandarin oranges also in my salad. I love mandarin oranges. I'm gonna drain some of the juice. And put the mandarin oranges in there. What are you doing for Father's Day? Is that next weekend, or is it the following weekend? I'm still waiting, too, to get the directions for my wicker demo that I'm doing. It's like I have a lot of things in the works, but nothing like really happening. And it's a little frustrating. Yeah, it really is. It's a little frustrating. Finally was able to clean up some of my emails. I'm down to 141 emails in my inbox. What do you have? How many do you have? Do you go in and clean them all out? I'm hoping if I do happen to land an event coordinating position that I can do it hybrid, or if I have to go into an office, and that just doesn't even sound right coming out of my mouth. Or I can work from home. I have to go into the restaurant tomorrow. Haven't heard from anybody over the weekend. Sometimes I hear from people, nothing. So I don't know if they weren't busy. I don't know what's going on there. It will be a crapshoot when I go in tomorrow. Then I was looking at other restaurant kind of things. I was like, I just went out of the restaurant. I just went out of the restaurant industry. It just isn't working for me anymore. Nothing like a fresh tomato in your salad, you know? It'll look good, and I'm gonna put some chicken in it. I was looking for pecans, and I didn't see any pecans. Because I like pecans. There's sunflower seeds also in my salad. Let's put a little spinach in it, and then we can cut up that chicken. I sent the oldest a text yesterday. I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, I'm sitting in the yard. Usually he paints in the yard. He's very creative like I am. Yeah, rinse this real quick. Haven't heard from your daughter. You wash all your lettuce and your vegetables before you put it in your salad. Of course I'm not using the right knife. Like, seriously. And I have knives. But what's your plan for summer? Do you get to go anywhere? Do you have anything planned? You gonna get one of those black stones to grill on? I think I'd like to have one of those. Or get a griddle thing to go on my barbecue pit outside. You know, honestly, I want one of those old kind of percolators that you would use camping, and then when I do a fire in the yard, get a grate to go on top of it so I can percolate some coffee outside, give the illusion that I'm camping. Anything to get my head in a whole other direction. Okay, probably needed a bigger bowl. Do I need a bigger bowl? Maybe. Hold on. All right, I got all the dogs under my feet. Can you see these? There's Francis. There's Francis. The other one is over here. They're all like all around me. Francis is a staffy pit. Somebody dumped her at the other location of my restaurant, and there was a litter of them, and they could get rid of everybody but her. Her name's Frances Bean. I thought, why not? So I either call her Frances or I call her the Bean, or Beanie. She's a good dog. I've been letting her sleep with me, which probably isn't the best thing. She's spoiled. And then that storm came this morning, and Hank, the one with the brown around her eye, she knows how to make the great escape out of her crate. And she tried to climb up in my room. I'm like, no, 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 no. I won't eat all the salad. I'll save some of it for the kid. Okay, let's do that. I'm gonna cut that chicken up. But what's the weather where you are? What's the weather doing? Maybe I'm not using it. I can get some other kind of cheese. What is the weather doing? They're calling for thunderstorms all tomorrow, which I'm okay with. It will do my garden so good to have all that rain. Gotta have some protein in your salad, you know? Did we have the conversation about how much protein you need in your diet? I think it was like you take your weight and you multiply it by 7, and that's how much protein that you should have in your diet daily. Years back, when I was really, really trying to get into shape and lose a bunch of weight, for probably about 3 months, I became a vegetarian, no meat at all. And I dropped a lot of pounds, a lot of middle kind of weight. And then slowly I started adding meat back into my diet. So could you go 3 months without eating meat? Really does your body good. This was the best chicken I made the other night on the grill. Oh, so good. But I love my vegetables. I could eat vegetables and pasta. It was kind of nice going to pick up my groceries from Aldi's. $90. And I had 5 bags. I bought a pork butt to do pulled pork sandwiches one night this week. I'll do that in a crock pot. I bought some fresh carrots today at the produce store too. Can you see Hank? There's Hank. He's right there. Alright, let's eat that. That's yummy. What do you put in your salad? Like I said, if I had pecans, I'd put some pecans in it. I've got 2 eggplants already on my plants out there. I'd put in 3 plants. 2 are doing really well, 1 is not, and I don't know why. And I didn't pay attention to, because they say you're supposed to plant so many things together, but I spaced everything out. Like my peppers are growing. I've got my peppers in between my tomatoes. I've got the potatoes on one whole row. I've got my onions on another row. I've got my carrots on the outside row. My garlic is coming up. I'm trying to think of all the things that are out there. My snap peas. I need a new trellis. I didn't make a big enough one. There's suffering out there. But I'm hoping, because last year I roasted peppers, eggplants, and tomatoes and made my own sauce. You've heard me say that. I'm hoping I get that same kind of yield this year. And when I was at the produce place today, they had eggplant. Eggplant is so good, and you can do so much with it, and it has such a nutritional value. Like I said, I'm all about my veggies, pasta and veggies. So, look at that. That's my salad. Does that look good? You want a bite? I gotta find some cheese to put on it though, since my blue cheese didn't look very good. God only knows how long that's been in there. But I hope you had a really, really good day today. You know, I'm just coming on just to see how you all are. There's nothing a whole bunch going on in my world. My house is clean. My laundry is finished. I'll put clean sheets on the bed tonight before I go to bed. Dogs are all well. Shug's not real crazy about having her harness on when she goes out into the yard, but it keeps her from going over the fence. That's something new. You know, she never used to do that. But everybody's fine, and everybody's good, and I hope you're doing really well tonight. You know, life can change in an instant. I'm gonna find a towel. Life can change in an instant, and you don't know. If you blink, something can happen. Good or bad or indifferent. You know, you want to take care of yourself. You want to treat yourself really good and kind. You do. Life is short. So you got to do all the good, simple things that are just going to make you happy. You know, indulge. Eat something good, something very satisfying. Take yourself out on a date if you will. I mean, why not? Why not? Did you see, change the subject a second before I get off of here. Did you watch the Belmont with, whatever that horse's name, I should know this. The Sherry, first woman trainer whose horse won the first race and now the Belmont. Did you watch it? I didn't. I saw the after effects of it. Good for her. Makes me really miss my horse. You know, when I was thinking too, I had said the last 2 years have been so different for me for a lot of different reasons. But one, because I don't have my horse. I don't have that physical activity anymore. I don't have that, there's an animal that is waiting for me and needing for me to take care of it. You know, that knowing that that's what cleared my mind when I rode her, and all the tack and all those things. And although she was an expense, I miss that. That life with her gave me that much of a life closer to having a farm and having a ranch and so on and so forth. And without having her to go see, that really, really played a very deep sadness in my heart and in my soul, because as a little girl I always wanted to have a horse. So without having her, needless to say, not traveling, that always plays a huge factor too. When you're used to going and packing and what's next and what the adventure is going to be, you have to adjust. And then being in the restaurant industry, that whole industry right now just sucks. Sucks the life out of you, and it's not fun anymore. What was the other thing? Oh, did you watch the Tonys last night? I don't watch TV, but I saw the clips. Made me giggle a little bit, and I was walking around the house all day singing Broadway tunes, because I went to school and studied theater vocals. How I ended up in St. Louis, how I was born in St. Louis. Do you ever think about that? Why were you born in the city or the state you're in? Why weren't you born like elsewhere? And I think, well, no wonder I didn't end up on Broadway and theater. Look at where I live. But it was nice to study all those things. The more you study, the more you learn, the more you have to offer to somebody else. It's that little bit of entertainment that you do for your own happiness within your soul. It's why I always talk about, if you have a talent or you have a gift, what is it? Can you monetize it? What's the one thing people don't know you can do? I don't speak a foreign language. I don't. I can sing, on an occasion. But man, watching Pink last night, that was interesting. Very much so. But you have to treat yourself. You have to do things kind for yourself. You have to indulge in all those little moments that are going to make you happy in this life. Because like I said, the fates step in and the rug gets pulled out from underneath you, and you think you're on one path, and then you got to figure out how you're going to balance and juggle and continue with life. All those things I talk about in any of my classes that I teach. But I'm going to go find some cheese for my salad. I'm going to peel my nectarines here, and I think I'm going to make a little bit of a jam. Fry it up, some butter, some brown sugar, maybe a little whiskey in it. But I'm Kitryn Marie, an artist, writer, speaker, life, and a business coach. Teach a variety of art and communication classes, published book When He Had Her, available on Amazon. For today, for tomorrow, be happy, be blessed. Be thankful for everything. Fate does turn on a dime, and you do have to decide what side of that coin you want to be on. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, share, all those good things. If you're interested in a painting class, vision board class, or learning how to monetize your hobby, just reach out kitrynmarie@gmail.com. If you're interested in buying me a coffee, my Cash App is in the bio there. It is $Kitryn Marie 17. Let me know you appreciate all of my nonsense, as I like to call it. But y'all take care, and I'll see you real soon.